Hi, today I'd like to show you how to transfer a pattern from Designer to the PC10. Now, the PC10 is a little different than PE1 in that the PC10 takes standard compact flash cards. My former camera used to use compact flash cards, but my new cameras use the SD cards. So I ended up with a bunch of smaller compact flash cards that I now have donated to my PC10. So what you need to have is the compact flash card, a compact flash card reader and writer for your computer, and you can pick those up at the store for like, $20. And then you need your Designer software. So we've already designed here a simple tuck pattern, and if you remember from the method of knitting video, you'll notice that we are using the smart symbols for tuck, and we also use colors. That's just our preference, but really it's these tuck symbols that will tell Designer that these are the non-selected needles. The blue solid ones are going to be the selected needles. And we're going to tell Designer that this is a textured pattern that uses the smart symbols by using the method of knitting here. So you'll notice that our method of knitting is wrong side facing textures, meaning use these smart symbols. The other thing you'll notice is that we have checked read and write Silver Reed PC10 pattern files. That will allow you to use one of the two different methods to transfer this pattern to PC10. So make sure you have this checked, and then I'll show you both of the methods. So the first method we're going to show you is the download, and this works similarly to downloading to PE1 or even the brother machines. So when you select the equipment that you want to transfer to, you want to indicate that it's to the PC10, then say OK, and then it'll ask you to select the drive in your computer where the compact flash card is. So ours is this drive T, the compact flash card named Silver Reed, and we're going to drill into this folder here and then say OK. That's when Designer will save it to that folder and will indicate that this is pattern 21. Now let's look at the thumbnails that are on the compact flash card so that you can see what happened. So here again in the thumbnail window, we're going to have to drill down into this folder here. This is our compact flash card, and you'll notice that pattern 21 is the pattern that we just had up on our screen. So let's minimize that for a second. You will see that this pattern is the same pattern as this one, and that the darker ones are the selecting needles, the lighter ones are the non-selecting needles. Now while we have the thumbnails up, we're going to show you that these blank ones that don't have the dark stitches, these are mistakes, and this is where we use the incorrect method of knitting. So as an example, if you use the smart symbols to try to select and then you selected the Fair Isle method of knitting, this will be the result. Or if you only used colors and you set the method of knitting to wrong side texture, you will also get this result. So if you want one of these other results where there are some dark needles, meaning the selected ones, and some light colored needles, meaning the non-selected ones, you have to use the correct method of knitting and the needle selection that goes with that method of knitting. And as you'll remember, smart symbols will either select or deselect depending on which smart symbol you're using. And for a Fair Isle or a Jacquard, the selected needle is defined based on the color palette and whether the needle is selected or not there. So this has been the first method. The second method of transferring this to the card is to just do a File Save As. So if you File Save As, then this drop down here will show Silver Reed PC10. So you select that Save As type, then select your card, and then you want to drill into this folder. Okay, make sure your Save As type here is .dat, hit Save, and then you'll get this message, and it will say that you want to load pattern number 22. And again, if we look at the thumbnails, we'll show you that it really is there, and this is pattern number 22. Now you may be wondering, why is it 22 when the file name is 21? Well, that's because Silver Reed apparently does a base 0 numbering, meaning that pattern number 1 is actually file name 0. Pattern number 2 is actually file name 1, and so forth. So when you get down here, this is called pattern number 22, and even though the file name is 21. Because Silver Reed never intended for you to have a software like Designer to show you the actual file number. But when you refer to this pattern here using your PC10, you will want to refer to it as number 22. So if you just get a little confused, remember, add 1 to the file number, and that's the number you will use in the PC10. So I hope you enjoyed this quick overview on how to save the stitch patterns to the PC10.